Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Friday to you. And let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, of course, see kind of what's going on. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, really just love teaching people how to trade. CryptoCache.tech is the website if you want to become a better trader. I send out signals for every trade that I take. I provide you with a trading academy and just most of all, an amazing trading community. Thank you again to my current community members for being so awesome. Greatly appreciate you. All right, so taking a look here at Bitcoin on the 1 day. The 50-day SIP moving average is working its way up, and as it works its way up, should essentially increase the price. That's the concept, that's the idea. Is it foolproof? No, but it certainly helps push the price action higher in most cases. So today it's working fairly well in that sense, obviously too premature. The day hasn't closed yet, but generally speaking, we get a close above 40,300, or just say round number 40,200, the previous support level, we're gonna be in pretty good shape, okay? So I'm looking for a close over 40,000 as a worst case scenario. Preferably a close though above this level here at Fibonacci of about 40,750, or round number 40,800 would be a really nice place to close, giving us that confirmation that we're holding above that support and essentially going to potentially continue to progress upwards over the weekend. Okay. Again, we want more volume today though. That would be very nice to have a lot more volume. And if we look at the volume bar from yesterday compared to the day before, it's pretty small, all right? So take a look at that. Not a lot of volume, of course, and sometimes when you have low volume, you can have just continued sell-off because of the fact that there's no buying pressure. We're hoping for the inverse here, of course. Anytime the price tries to come down, there's immediate buying pressure, and that really helps us understand we're in good shape. Great news is we've seen on the 4-hour time frame that we've tested this support level here, 40,200 twice. That's a great sign in that sense, whereas the price comes down and consistently rejects off of that. So it's kind of reaffirming the fact that we have a nice support level there. So I like that. All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and look at some other stuff here as well and see what's going on. We're still holding above the 50 on the RSI, which is fantastic. That's going to continue to work as a potential support level. Once again, that's very synonymous with 40,000. Once we broke over 40,000, that 50-day SMA, that effectively gave us that support. Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say that if the price were to come back down, it's going to have some trouble getting below 40,000/40,200. If it does break below that, I do feel as if, because if we take a look at just say the volume profile, let's go at the last month's worth of volume and take a look here. We can see there's a tremendous amount of volume at 39,000. So 39,000 to me feels like a pretty strong support area, which is nice because that's synonymous with this next little support that we have with this ascending type of pattern here. And what I mean by that is we've seen the price action effectively increasing slowly over the last couple months. All right, so January lowest point was 35, 37 in February, and now in March our lowest point was 38. Okay? So if we continue this trend, our lowest point will be 39,000 and we'll inevitably break back above 46,000. Okay, so it's just one of those things that's kind of just slowly progressing upwards, or well, more so sideways for the moment, but we are a slow increase in price overall for the average. And I think that's important to recognize. So good stuff there in that sense. MACD on the 1 day isn't super relevant. Let's look at the 4-hour MACD though, because that's the one that I think is more important here. And we can see that we have a MACD divergence. Now, this doesn't concern me too much because of other key factors that we have with support levels. It's not going to, if the momentum were to shift downward any further, it wouldn't be terrible. I feel like we could get a bounce off of 39 as a worst case scenario if we lose 40. Okay, so I think we have a pretty strong support channel between 39 and 40,200, and in that sense, we should expect some type of support because we also have both moving averages trending right in that same area too. So basically, it's just telling us that hey, in the last X amount of days, we have an average price that should be right where the price is at. So therefore, working as a support level. So we got not only a strong volume profile of 39,000, but we got most moving averages trending at 39/40. That's a really good sign. These are all positive things kind of factoring in here. So again, there's no guarantees we're going to see the price continue to shoot up. It might try to retrace back down to 39. If it does, just know we should have a pretty decent amount of support there based on a strong volume profile and many moving averages kind of holding the price in place. So if I were to shoot for an entry target, I'd say 40,200 would be a good entry, as well as 39 as perhaps even a secondary entry. Just something to consider. Here's something we got to look at though here. On the 1 hour, we are technically making lower lows, okay, and lower highs. So you see this pretty consistent trend here. Every time it tries to come back up, it can't seem to break that trend. So it is consistently going lower. and kind of working its way down. One positive note here, actually just seeing us here, we do have basically two lows essentially at the very similar or same point. If you want to get technical with the 1 day or the 1 hour close, this is technically a little bit higher than this. So it is, I guess, if you wanted to stretch your imagination, we're looking at a higher low effectively forming here on the 1 hour. All right. Again, you probably want to prefer to look at the 4 hour for those situations, but generally speaking, we can't avoid the fact that hey, this is channeling downwards for the moment, and that's just something we got to acknowledge and understand that the price could continue to progress lower throughout the weekend. Once again, it could be one of those slow bleeds. We'll see, of course, soon. I would say, again, if we close above 40,200, we'll probably have a decent amount of sideways action throughout the weekend, and perhaps even a slow increase. Again, there's a lot of factors that are taking place here, but generally speaking, when you see a strong green week, which we've seen this one, I wouldn't say it's super strong, but it's definitely higher than it would be lower for the week. You can expect, in some cases, somewhat of a red weekend, just based on the fact that it's usually like an opposite effect. A lot of times you'll see the opposite result over the weekend based on what happened during the weekday, because of course there's always profits to be taken by whomever allowed the price to move that far. All right, so anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Ichimoku Cloud. And we can see that there's no significant buy or sell signal right now. In fact, we're right inside the cloud, so technically speaking, we have no indication of anything. You don't want to take a short or a long position. Lagging span still stuck in the price action, and we got the conversion line below the baseline. So technically, we're 0 out of 3 for a long position. I would say it would probably be advantageous to wait a little bit longer until we get some kind of confirmation. Again, either the price continues sideways and eventually just breaks above the cloud naturally when the cloud continues to dissipate, or we see a push and a close above, again, the level of 40,800. We can get a close above 40,800 today. I think that'd be a very good sign, a very green light, so to speak, to feel comfortable and confident in the fact that we are back on the right side of the tracks. Again, right now we're kind of doing the slow consolidation downtrend. This is very common, very normal after a significant uptrend like we saw as a result of the inflation actually not going as terrible as some might have expected. Price kind of came up there. So again, we have a nice average price. We have a nice amount of volume at 39,000. So I would say, again, if the price were to come down, we lost 40,200. I don't think it's going to be dire straits. I feel as if 39 would be the next available position there essentially to consider. So again, big picture looking very good here for Bitcoin in my personal opinion. I think we have a lot of more positive factors than negative, but mostly in the sense of strong support areas just below the price action. I like to see that. It's been a little while since we've been in that type of scenario, and we got to celebrate that. So yeah, heaven forbid the price does come back down to 39. Just be a better opportunity to average your position down. Maybe consider adding to your position. Take a long position up to 41 or 42. I do feel like we're going to see 41, 42 tested again here soon, but it may not be until next week. Again, this weekend I'm anticipating kind of a little bit of a stagnation, so to speak, because we have very low volume, all things considered here. And in order for this momentous trend to continue to push upwards, we wanted to see more volume. Not to say it's not going to continue back, because the key here is that if we don't close under 39,000, we'll be in pretty good shape, because the day before we had this significant, we had a significant push up, of course, on the 16th. That was 2 days ago. The day before that, the 15th, as long as we can close above that open, we're going to be in good shape. So honestly, a close above 38,000 would be just fine. That would allow for us to continue this momentous trend. All right. So again, we're not in dire straits by any means with 2 red days following a solid green day. It's very standard, very common, and I'm not super worried about it. I hope that you found benefit here today, of course, and if you do, comment below, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and feel free to join my trading community. It's a really awesome experience. Looking forward to getting to know you better. CryptoCache.tech is the website, link in the description below. You have yourself a great rest of your day. Take care.